Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and the time has finally arrived. The Indianapolis 250 is upon us, and we are here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the final race in the 2017 Haas IndyCar Series. It is a 100-lap event around this 2.5-mile speedway in Speedway, Indiana, and I like to consider it the greatest race that I run on my channel. It is definitely going to be a thrilling event, and at the end of the day, not only will we crown a Haas IndyCar Series champion, but we will also crown a winner in the longest race that currently runs on this channel. 250 miles here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, half of the length of the real thing, which is going to be held tomorrow. But right now, here on Saturday morning, it's the Indianapolis 250 in the NRLOA. And it's going to be a fantastic race. Like I said, a champion will be decided at the end of the day coming into today's event. 11 drivers have a chance at the championship, and I want to remind you guys, this is a double points race. Normal races, you get 50 points for winning. If you win today's event, you get 100 points for winning. And now a lot of points on the line, especially for these 11 guys who still have a chance at the championship. Matt Dalio comes into today's event, the points leader, 358 points towards the championship. His challenger, Jonathan Rains, only 14 points behind. And if either of those guys win today, they win the Haas IndyCar Series Championship. Zachary Fitzwater, 42 points behind. Luke Rainey, 48 points behind. Defending Haas IndyCar Series champion Cameron Garlington, 56 points behind. Sergio Arvin Alonso, 61 points behind. Pole sitter Jesse Turner and outside pole sitter Audra Baranowskis. Their teammates, they are both 68 points behind. And starting on the front row for today's event, Al Agassi, 86 points behind. Christian Master, also 86 points behind. Master won the Indianapolis 200 here in 2015. And Davey Johnson, 88 points behind, coming into this grand event here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 100 laps of action. It's going to be a very long race, but at the end, somebody is going to be the winner. And it's going to be a special moment when the leader crosses the line on lap 100. The drivers are ready, all 33 competitors in their cars ready to get this started. It is going to be one pace lap, then the green flag here at the Brickyard. Let's go ahead and get these guys to roll off here for the Indianapolis 250 in 2017. And the starting lineup will roll on the bottom of your screen. And like I said, the number 15 of Jesse Turner starts on the pole position, fastest in qualifying on Wednesday. He will be starting alongside his teammate and last year's pole sitter Audra Baranowskis in the number 16. Row number 2, an Indy 250 only driver, Max Anderson in the number 91, starts alongside Indiana native Nathan Stapleton in the number 9. Row number 3, Jordan Lopez will start alongside the number 27 of Sergio Arvin Alonso. Row number 4, Matt Dalio, the points leader in the Haas IndyCar Series, will start alongside Zachary Fitzwater, who I believe was the runner-up in 2015 when this was a 200-mile race. Row number 5, Al Agassi in the number 20. He was the last driver to make the top 9 shootout on Wednesday. He is starting alongside an Indy 250 only driver of Adam Lewis. Row number 6, the number 98 of Matt Tuck will start alongside the number 41 of Julius Anderson, another Indianapolis 250 only driver. Yet another Indy 250 only driver, Paul Minnick, in the number 6. He will start alongside Trey Bartow in row number 7. Row number 8, Isaac Nichols, yet another Indianapolis 250 only driver, starting alongside the all-time winningest driver on Napa Fan, Garrett Zenor. Luke Rainey and defending Haas IndyCar Series champion Cameron Garlington in row number 9. Then it's Stuart Gratton and the number 8 of Cody Smart, another Indy 250 only driver, rounding out the top 20 starting positions for the Indianapolis 250. This is definitely one of my favorite races to do. We are going to begin the race on the spectator cam, move over to TV 2, and it's going to be very fun to watch. Coming out of turn number 4, the pace car is going to lead the field down the long straightaway, and coming to the bricks, Jesse Turner will lead the field to the green flag in the 2017 Indianapolis 250. We're going to let you hear the engines. The green flag is out, and we're racing in the final race of the season here at Indianapolis. The number 15 of Jesse Turner, the first ever winner on Napa Fan, will lead the first lap of action here in the 2017 Indianapolis 250. There are no bonus points for leading laps in this series. It's just going to count at the end when all of these guys finish. Max Anderson for second to the inside of Audra Baranowskis. He has Jordan Lopez helping him in the number 14. There's Matt Dalio, the points leader, coming into today's race. The way they are currently running, Matt Dalio would win the championship. But it is a very long race. There are going to be pit stops as well, and a lot could shake up this field between now and the finish. Jesse Turner pulling out a little bit in the number 15. He's going to lead a second lap in a row. And now Max Anderson running in the second position, an Indy 250 only driver. And remember, last year an Indy 250 only driver won this race, Aaron Walpole in the number 5. We'll try to locate him here on the racetrack. And there he is, deep in the field right now. He's about 20th in the number 5, but still, it's a very long race here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You can work your way from the back to the front before this race is over, no problem. Max Anderson to the inside of Jesse Turner for the lead on lap 3 of 100. Will Turner get the run on the outside and lead 3 laps in a row? It's going to be a dead heat at the line for this lap, but Jesse Turner will edge the number 91 at the line. Here comes Zachary Fitzwater and Al Legacy. They have moved their way into the top 5, and Max Anderson has cleared Jesse Turner for the lead. The number 14 is now going to get a run to the inside of Max Anderson for the lead, and Jordan Lopez is now out front here in the Indianapolis 250. Zachary Fitzwater with help from Al Legacy on the inside line. Fitzwater's going to get a run to the inside of the 14, and now we're beginning to see frequent passing for the lead. When these guys are bunched up like they are right now, passing for the lead is very frequent. Jordan Lopez with a run on the outside. It does appear that Lopez is going to lead lap number 4 here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and he will. Got Matt Tuck on this inside lane. Adam Lewis was fastest in final practice yesterday. This number 19 is definitely a force to reckon with in today's race. And expect him to be very strong late in the going here in the Indianapolis 250. He's helping Matt Tuck in the number 98. Tuck is up to the 3rd position right now in that machine. And the number 20 of Al Legacy is up to the 2nd position. Al Legacy has 1 win this season. It came at Watkins Glen. Jordan Lopez is going to stay out front in the number 14. Coming out of turn number 4, Jordan Lopez is going to lead lap number 5, but barely over the number 20 of Al Legacy. We're at 20th of the way through the Indianapolis 250. Here comes Adam Lewis in the number 19. Zachary Fitzwater, his teammate, right behind him. The full-time teammate there. And that is Zachary Fitzwater, who finished 2nd here in 2015. He knows his way around this racetrack very well. He is pushing this number 19 of Adam Lewis to the inside of Al Legacy. And the Indy 250 only driver of Adam Lewis will take the lead on lap 6 of 100. Our pole sitter, he's found his way back to the inside lane. And he is going to move his way through the field here if he can get a good draft on that inside. Jesse Turner in the number 15. Jordan Lopez on that outside lane, 3rd in line. He led earlier on, but it's now the number 19 of Adam Lewis, who is out front here in the Indianapolis 250. Al Legacy will clear for the 2nd position on Zachary Fitzwater. And all 33 drivers still running in this thing right now. Last year we had a crash early on, but a caution did not come out for it. And that split the field up a little bit, and we had a very long green flag run. I believe it was 61 laps to start out last year's race. Now, I have no idea how it's going to play out this year. We could go caution-free in this race for all I know. But we did have 2 cautions last year, and crashes, especially considering that it's a 100-lap race at the speeds these guys are going. We'll probably see a yellow flag before this thing is over. Al Legacy to the inside of Adam Lewis for the lead. Here comes Matt Tuck in the number 98. We have not seen much of him this season in the Haas IndyCar Series, but here he is running up front looking very strong in that number 98. Jesse Turner, the pole sitter, not doing too bad either. And Trey Bartow in the number 4. He's won a cup race here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, a Chick-fil-A Cup Series race, and that starts on Monday, by the way. And the number 2, Trey Bartow, up to the 4th position in the Penske number 2. It's now Al Legacy leading the field here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, lap number 8, going to the number 20. Matt Tuck right behind him in the number 98, trying to get to the inside of him, not able to do so quite yet. They are single file through the first 5 positions here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Matt Tuck trying to get a run to the inside of Al Agassi for the lead. Not able to do so quite yet, but I believe that he is going to get a run to the inside heading into turn number 3. Matt Tuck to the inside of Al Agassi, and Tuck is going to take it away from the number 20. Trey Bartow up to third. He is getting around Jesse Turner. Zachary Fitzwater back in the mix in the number 18. Fitzwater getting around the ride he drove in 2015 for the 4th position. But it's Matt Tuck in the number 98 leading the field. Lap 10 of 100 here in the Indianapolis 250 at the moment. 3 wide! 3 wide here at Indianapolis usually does not work. They will figure it out, and they will fan it back down to 2 wide here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. When we see 3 wide, lots of times it does not work, but they figured it out. Jesse Turner is going to fall back in the number 15. Jesse Turner won the first race of the season here in the Haas IndyCar Series at the Auto Club Speedway, and the speeds there are very, very similar to the speeds we get here. But right now, the average speed of the leader is over 220 miles per hour. That is realistic right there. A tenth of the way through the Indianapolis 250, Al Agassi out front in the number 20. Then it's Trey Bartow, Jordan Lopez, and Matt Tuck. Another cloudy day, another cloudy Indianapolis 250 here. But that's not going to stop from this race being ultra exciting. It already has been in this first tenth of the race. Trey Bartow taking the lead away from Al Agassi with Jordan Lopez, Matt Tuck, and Zachary Fitzwater behind him. And here comes the points leader here in the Haas IndyCar Series, the number 33 of Matt Delio. I believe he has moved his way into the top 10, and the other guys who were contending for the championship along with them, mainly being Jonathan Rains, they have fallen back. At least with Rains, he is behind the 33. However, Zachary Fitzwater is in front of the number 33 of Matt Delio. Zachary Fitzwater looking very strong in the number 18, and we almost had a crash there as Matt Tuck almost came down on Zachary Fitzwater. Fortunately for those guys, it did not happen. But Zachary Fitzwater looking very strong. If he could win today's race, he might have a very good chance at winning the 2017 Haas IndyCar Series Championship. Here comes the Indiana native, Nathan Stapleton in the number 9. Let me tell you, this guy has been majorly looking forward to this race, and of all these guys in the field, I think this guy wants to win it the most. The Indiana native of Nathan Stapleton driving the number 9. Ganassi Racing has had a terrible season, but an Indianapolis 250 win would definitely make it a little bit better for those guys in the Ganassi stable. Nathan Stapleton's going to take 4th away from Matt Tuck as Tuck falls back on the outside lane. And I believe all 33 drivers are still running in the field. We have not had a crash yet, which is a great thing. We do not want to see crashes here in this race, because when we see crashes, they're usually very violent. The number 14 of Jordan Lopez leading the field right now. Here comes the number 18 of Zachary Fitzwater. Fitzwater is going to get a run to the inside of Jordan Lopez for the lead. Lap 13 of 100. And Fitzwater is going to barely edge out Lopez at the line. They're side by side for the lead. Here comes Nathan Stapleton for the 3rd position. And around goes the 9. Will they save it? No, they won't. And the fence hard goes Trey Bartow and Al Agassi. And a big crash. Lap 14 of the Indianapolis 250. Nicholas Amadio upside down. Garrett Tenor, Al Agassi, Paul Minnick. And the first yellow of the day has occurred here at Indianapolis. Trey Bartow, majorly torn up in the number 2. The race back to the line will be won by Zachary Fitzwater in the number 18. I am attempting to locate Nathan Stapleton. I believe he got out of that without significant damage, but he got spun to the inside there by, I believe, Al Agassi in the number 20. You see Al Agassi in the pit lane. And it does appear that his day will be done early on here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Garrett Tenor was also involved. Nicholas Amadio, I believe he went upside down. You see the damage to Trey Bartow. His engine has expired. That is a major unfortunate break for those guys involved. And it's going to be an early day for some of these guys here in the Indianapolis 250. However, it's a perfect opportunity for some of these guys to come down and make a pit stop. You see Davey Johnson, he's going to come down the access road here. Something amiss on the number 34. I'm wondering if he was involved in that crash and gained significant damage to his race car. But these guys will most likely come down the pit lane this lap. And it's going to be the first set of pit stops of many sets of pit stops we will see here today in the Indianapolis 250. Zachary Fitzwater will lead the field down with Jordan Lopez, Herja Larvin Alonso, Stuart Gratton, and points leader Matt Dalio. Here they come, the field coming down the pit lane. And this is the best camera angle we have. Somebody else back in there blowing up. I believe that might be Stapleton. And Stapleton, he's had a lot of issues with his engine lately. And it does appear that then number 10. Oh, we had a little incident on the pit lane there. I believe that Nicholas Amadio was trying to come out, and he bumped the defending winner of the Indianapolis 250, Aaron Walpole. But you see the number 9, and it looks like his day is going to be done. He might have gotten involved in that crash, and that's a very unfortunate break for the Indiana native. He was so looking forward to this race, but it looks like it's going to end early. Anyways, we're going to follow here. Jesse Turner has the first pit stall, and we will see where he comes out in relation to everybody else. And looks like the number 18 is Zachary Fitzwater will win the race off of the pit lane for the first set of pit stops here today in the 2017 edition of the NRLOA Indianapolis 250. Jordan Lopez second, Herja Larvin Alonso third off the pit lane, Matt Dalio fourth off the pit lane, and Matt Tuck fifth off the pit lane. Anyways, let's go ahead and review the crash that brought out the first caution here today at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the 2017 Indianapolis 250. Here was the incident that brought out the first caution here today in the Indianapolis 250. Al Agassi, they were 3 wide exiting turn number 1. He clipped the number 9 of Nathan Stapleton. I did it again. Those target cars, they look alike and they have very similar names, but Nathan Stapleton, I believe he saved it. But the number 20 went right into Eric Almenhart in the number 68, and Trey Bartow hard into the outside wall. Legacy and Bartow both into the catch fence. This one's going to be a crazy angle right there. The car's almost getting into the camera, and you see Nathan Stapleton did in fact get involved in this one. A lot of smoke, hard to tell who was involved. It looks like Max Anderson, he came down on Nicholas Amadio. Cameron Gaju got into the 10, and that sent Amadio upside down. Paul Minnick also involved in the number 6. And Garrett Sonora around as well. You see Bartow, significant damage to his race car. It looks like Chris Skinlart ran into Paul Minnick. And a lot of guys involved in this incident. I believe Ryan Gondillo behind all of this. Noah Kars, the runner-up last year. Audra Baranauskas, the outside pole sitter behind all of this as well. And you see Al Agassi's car destroyed in the number 20 sideways on the racetrack. Garrett Sonora trying to get spun back around. And number 2, Trey Bartow, all torn up in that Penske racing machine. Very unfortunate break for all those guys, and especially the Ganassi guys again. All 3 Ganassi guys getting involved. And I'm pretty sure those guys are glad the season is over. It has been a very struggling season for the Chip Ganassi racing team of Garrett Sonora, Nicholas Amadio, and Nathan Stapleton. All 3 of them getting involved in a crash together yet again. Let's go ahead, replay in real time, then we'll have a quick commercial break, then the restart here in the Indianapolis 250. We will follow with Al Agassi for this replay. He clips the 9 of Nathan Stapleton. And they save it from hitting the inside wall, but Legacy LePages the field, and so did the number 9. I also noticed there that Jesse Turner was involved in this crash as well as Stapleton came up the racetrack. And you see all the guys involved there. A lot of those guys in the back did successfully stop, but some guys did not. And a lot of guys knocked out in this crash. Number 18, you see there, Zachary Fitzwater won the race back to the line, and he won the race off of the pit lane as well. So, we'll get to the restart after this commercial break here from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Do you want great racing action? Then subscribe to GMS Productions, home of the NRLOA Ortho Cup Series.
For forcing the issue early, and John Arndt gets tapped behind from the number 15.
And the Zero Racing Reddit Truck Series.
George just hit the wall a ton, so did Arndt and Nichols.
GMS Productions, home of some of the best NR 2003 racing around. Back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the NRLOA Indianapolis 250 for 2017. Take a look at the drivers eliminated from that crash. And they include Nathan Stapleton, Trey Bartow, Nicholas Samadillo, and Al Lagasse. Those guys are going to fail to finish here today, and they're going to be knocked out early here in the Indianapolis 250. A very unfortunate break for those guys. And it's a tough way to end the season for those fine drivers right there. So I have 29 drivers left on the racetrack. We started with 33, and about a fifth of the way through this race, and we still got most of the guys out there, which is a great thing. Zachary Fitzwater will restart in the first place position in the number 18. Second place will be Jordan Lopez, and it's Herja Larvin Alonso. Matt Dalio, the points leader coming into today's race, the finale race of the Haas IndyCar Series. Number 98 of Matt Tuck running in the 5th position. Isaac Nichols running in the 6th position in the number 26. That number 26 won the special event Indianapolis 200 in 2015 when Max Neuwirth drove the car. Defending Indianapolis 250 champion Aaron Walpole already in the top 10 running 7th, and it's Cody Smart, Jonathan Rains, and Julius Anderson. Green flag back in the air here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Zachary Fitzwater out front. And Jonathan Rains, he moved his way into the top 10 in the number 17. He is only 14 points behind Matt Dalio. If either Jonathan Rains or Matt Dalio win today's race, they will win the championship as well, guaranteed. Number 14, Jordan Lopez to the inside of Zachary Fitzwater for the lead. And the number 14 is going to get a great run. Number 27, Herja Larvin Alonso running in the 3rd position. He's going to try to take 2nd here from the number 18. He's going to get a run to the inside of him. And he might get a run to the inside of Jordan Lopez. A little close there between those two drivers. The number 14 of Jordan Lopez has been one of the stronger guys so far in this race, and he's going to lead yet another lap here in the Indianapolis 250. Herja Larvin Alonso, however, is going to take the lead with help from his sort of Andretti teammate, the number 98 of Matt Tuck. Now Tuck's going to go to the inside of the 27 and take the lead away from him. And here he comes, the points leader in the Haas IndyCar Series coming into the final race of the season. Matt Dalio, he's won 3 times this season in the number 33. He won at Phoenix, he won at Lime Rock, and he won at Road America. And he comes into today's race, the points leader, up to 3rd place in that number 33. Herja Larvin Alonso is 2nd, but it's Matt Tuck leading the field in the number 98. Matt Tuck will lead at the 1/5 mark of the Indianapolis 250 here for 2017. Dalio tried to get to the inside of Herja Larvin Alonso. He is going to successfully do so now. Matt Dalio up to the 2nd position. It's going to be the Matt and Matt show up front. Matt Tuck, Matt Dalio, 1-2 here at Indy. And here he comes as well, another guy that we definitely want to watch for. And another guy we want to watch for, Aaron Walpole, the defending winner of this race, and Jonathan Rains in the 17, the guy who comes into this race 2nd in the point standings. Matt Dalio trying to get a run to the inside of Matt Tuck. And the number 33, the points leader, has help from Herja Larvin Alonso. And the number 33 trying to get to the inside of Matt Tuck for the lead. Not able to get the lead quite yet. Matt Tuck led that lap, but here comes Dalio in the 33. 3 wide for the lead. And Dalio and Alonso, they're going to go to the wall hard. They're going to come back up the racetrack and into the wall hard. Goes our points leader. Oh my goodness gracious. The points leader in the Haas IndyCar Series crashes early in the going. He went upside down and a hard crash again. They're trying to avoid the 33, and now Matt Dalio's day is done here at Indy. Chris Skinlart ran right into him, and Garrett Tenor cannot avoid him either. And a terrible crash. On lap 21 of the race, Matt Tuck is still the leader, and Jonathan Rains, he might very well come up with this championship after what happened to the points leader. A very unfortunate incident. Herja Larvin Alonso just being a little too aggressive, trying to get to the inside of Matt Dalio. They went 3 wide and exiting turn 1. The 27 did not lift off, and it's a very poor choice by the number 27 of Herja Larvin Alonso. And you see him back in there. He also went into the outside wall hard, so that's kind of his penalty there for what he did. He could have led off, especially this early on in the race, but he did not. And major championship implications here on lap 21 of the Indianapolis 250. Actually, it was lap 22, excuse me there. But Matt Dalio and Garrett Sinor both involved in this one. Both two very good drivers. Two of the best drivers we have here on Napa Fan. And Chris Skinlart ran into him late in the going. A very unfortunate incident. Now this is where things get very interesting. We only went green flag racing for a little bit. But it does appear that most of these guys are going to come down the pit lane again. So we'll see how this whole thing shakes out. Matt Tuck will lead the field down. It does appear that somebody's staying out. That's Ryan Gondillo in the number 3, who is going to stay out on the racetrack. And I believe Gondillo might lead the field to the green flag when we restart. But for now, who's going to win the race off the pit lane in this second round of pit stops? Matt Tuck leads him down. We already tied the amount of cautions we had in last year's race. We had 2 cautions last year here in the Indianapolis 250. And already 23 laps in, 2 cautions in the 2017 edition. We'll follow with Matt Tuck and see where he comes out in relation to everybody else. You see Luke Rainey get off back in there. And it does appear that this number 98 might lose it because got some guys ahead of him. It's going to be Jonathan Rains who wins the race off at the pit lane. Exactly what that number 17 wants. Now, the interesting thing is he has not won a race yet this season, but he is right up there by Dalio in the point standings. And with Dalio knocked out in this race, that number 17 of Jonathan Rains is going to have a very good shot at winning the Haas IndyCar Series Championship. Defending Indianapolis 250 champion Aaron Walpole got off the pit lane second. And it was Matt Tuck, Luke Rainey, and the defending and the winner before Aaron Walpole, I should say, Christian Master in the number 25. Ryan Gondillo stayed out. I believe he is on the lead lap as well. And he might not necessarily be because it is showing him a minute 38 seconds behind. So he might be at the tail end of the lead lap. And that might be why he stayed out, because the lap down cars cannot come down in with the lead lap cars. So Gondillo might not be the leader. He might be on the tail end of the lead lap right now. That might be why he did not come down the pit lane. But anyways, let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the second caution here in the Indianapolis 250 for 2017. And this is what happened to bring out the second caution. Herja Larvin Alonso, just way too aggressive. It's just too early to be this aggressive. It really is. Making it 3 wide for the lead. He tried to get to the inside of Matt Dalio. He slid up into Dalio. Dalio had nothing to do with this. And even at this point, they could have saved it. Alonso could have backed off, and the 33 would have been just fine, but he did not. He kept on clipping that 33 and hard into the inside wall with our points leader, Matt Dalio. Fortunately, nobody else was involved when they came back up the racetrack. But you see what happened to Dalio. Those fans got a very good view of that one. And the 33 going upside down. That's what happens when these guys are going so fast that when they hit that wall, they just go flipping. That's just the physics of this. And Matt Dalio, he's unfortunately going to get knocked out. And not necessarily because of what happened there, but because Chris Skinlart came in very fast in the number 21. We're going to try to locate him. Here he is. And you see these guys behind here with Garrett Sinor. Sinor also took a very hard hit to the number 33. And Skinlart in the number 21. He could have easily avoided this, but he was not able to do so. I think he was trying to avoid it. You see him kind of running a lower line there. And Matt Dalio just kind of comes down on him. Skinlart has nowhere to go. And a massively hard impact for Chris Skinlart into Matt Dalio. Matt Dalio comes back down the racetrack. You see the tire there go off Matt Dalio's car, come flying back down. Garrett Sinor runs right into him. Sinor loses a tire, and Matt Dalio loses another tire on his number 33. That is just sad to see. The points leader, probably the most consistent driver all season. Definitely the most dominating driver all season in the Haas IndyCar Series. Getting involved in the crash early on here in the Indianapolis 250. Let's go ahead, replay this one in real time. Real time following with Matt Dalio in the number 33. They go 3 wide for the lead, and Alonso did not lift. And that sent the 33 into the outside wall massively hard. But the big damage comes when Chris Skinlart comes in and ARCA brakes right into the number 33. Now, give Skinlart some credit. He's trying to race back to the line. Tried to avoid him. I put tried in quotation marks maybe, but just a very unfortunate incident, knocking out both Chris Skinlart and Garrett Sinor along with Matt Dalio, the points leader coming into this race. And That's majorly going to affect the championship, especially considering that the guy who's only 14 points behind Dalio coming into this race is leading the field. He won the race off the pit lane. That is Jonathan Rains in the number 17. We will not go to a commercial break, so let's get to the restart. Here for the Indianapolis 250, the second restart of the day here at the Brickyard. Back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Indianapolis 250. And Jonathan Rains, and the way they're currently running, Jonathan Rains would easily win the Haas IndyCar Series championship. And he is currently the leader in the number 17. Ryan Gondillo is, in fact, the lap down. Garrett Tenor, Matt Delio, Chris Skinlert all out. 25 drivers on the lead lap, 26 drivers still out there on the racetrack. Defending Indianapolis 250 winner, Aaron Walpole runs in the second position. Matt Tuck in the number 98. He was really dominant under that last green flag run. He is running in the third position. Luke Rainey, and Rainey's got a good chance of winning the championship. He's only 48 points behind Matt Delio. Delio's out of the race. He'll probably surpass Matt Delio in the points. Just got to get past Jonathan Rains, and Luke Rainey might be our champion. Just watch for him. Christian Masher, the winner of this race in 2015. Cameron Gaju in the number 22 runs in the 6th position. Great to see him running up front. He also won at Watkins Glen along with Al Agassi in the duel at the Glen. Outside pole sitter Audra Baranowskis up to 7th. Cody Smart is running in the 8th position. Julius Anderson and Isaac Nichols, those later three. Actually, we got 4 Indianapolis 250 only drivers starting all alongside each other there from 8th to 11th. Anyways, green flag back out in the air. The number 17, Jonathan Rains, gets the jump, and Matt Tuck is wasting no time getting around Aaron Walpole. I'm thinking that the strong guy right now is Matt Tuck. He just seems to be the most dominant guy so far here in this race, and he seems to have the strongest race car. He just seems to. But then again, Aaron Walpole, he really wasn't up front most of that race last year, and he ended up winning, so you never know. We're just past a quarter of the way through this race, not even close to halfway. But early on in the race here, I see this number 98 of Matt Tuck being the strong guy. Just see it. Trying to get around the number 17, Luke Rainey, is going to actually try to get to the inside of Matt Tuck for second. He's got Christian Master behind him. And Master, he won at Texas earlier this season. You thought this race is crazy. That Texas race was something else. Aaron Walpole, the defending winner of this race. He was not dominant in last year's race, but here he is running up front early on, so that's a good sign for the defending winner of the Indianapolis 250. Matt Tuck's going to fall back to the 5th position in the number 98, and he's still stuck in the outside lane. But I think he's going to file in for the 5th position. Here comes Luke Rainey to the inside of Jonathan Rains. Now, Jonathan Rains and Luke Rainey, they are 34 points apart from each other. So if Rainey wins and Rains, they have very similar last names. I just noticed that. If Luke Rainey wins and Jonathan Rains finishes second, Jonathan Rains still wins the championship. But if Rains falls back enough and Rainey wins the race, Jonathan Rains might not win the championship and Luke Rainey might. They got such similar names that I get them confused. I apologize for that. Here comes Christian Master. He won this race in 2015 when it was the Indianapolis 200. He's going to take the lead. Now Jonathan Rains, he found his way back to the inside. And here comes Matt Tuck in the number 98. And Tuck is back out front. A couple other guys we haven't really seen up front too much yet in this race. Julius Anderson in the number 41. Cody Smart and Isaac Nichols. They're all Indy 250 only drivers. They all drove in the CSX Indy Light Series this season. This is their only race of the season in the Haas IndyCar Series. And here they are running in the main pack. Let's not count out Audra Baranowskis in the number 16. A lot of these other guys really haven't talked about, like John Art, Cameron Darlington, Noah Cars, Eli Bright back in here. They've kind of fallen off a little bit. Same with Zachary Fitzwater. He was running up front earlier on in this race, but he has fallen back as well in the number 18. Then you see Eric Almenhart, Max Anderson, Stuart Gratton. Ryan Gondillo's a lap down. There's Paul Minnick. A lot of these guys were involved in crashes. You see Daniel McMillan in the number 39 with issues, and Jesse Turner, Hergelar and Alonso, Davey Johnson. They've all had issues here today at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Jonathan Rains, however, has not had any issues, and he is leading the field here at Indianapolis. How about Cameron Gaju up to the second place position? He can't win the championship, but I'm sure he'd love to get this win. He's not racing in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series this season, which is a disappointment, but he will be owning the JTD Doherty Racing Team with Cameron Carlington and Stuart Gratton. So as a team owner, he's probably going to have a lot of success. And he'd like to have some success here in the IndyCar Series by winning the biggest race of the season. But here come the Indy 250 only drivers of Cody Smart, Julius Anderson, and Isaac Nichols. And Cody Smart is probably the biggest race of his career. And if he can win it, it would definitely be the biggest win of his career. Cody Smart, I believe he's won 4 times this year, along with the Kubota GT Championship and the CSX Indy Lights Series. And he's running up front right now in the number 8. Here comes Julius Anderson in the number 41. And the number 26 of Isaac Nichols. That number 26 has been the victory lane in this race before, but so has that number 5. Just going to have to watch and see how it all folds, how it all unfolds at the end of this race. Now what I hope to see is a long green flag run and some green flag pit stops. That's when it really comes into view of who's strong in this race and who's going to have a good chance of winning. Oh no, another crash! Almost another crash! Come on guys, save it! You can save it! You did it! You did it! Fantastic job by those guys saving a crash from happening. Aaron Walpole and Luke Rainey. And 3 times the charm. The past 2 times something like that has happened exiting turn number 1. They have crashed. It did not happen that time. And if you see those guys, give them a high five because they did a fantastic job avoiding a major crash from happening. Aaron Walpole and Luke Rainey almost having a major incident exiting turn number 1. But the leader is Julius Anderson. He has taken the lead away from Jonathan Rains, and the number 41 is out front here at Indianapolis. And number 26, Isaac Nichols, running in the 2nd position. And the points leader at the moment, Jonathan Rains, in the number 17, runs in the 3rd position. As long as Jonathan Rains gets a top 5, only unless Luke Rainey or Zachary Fitzwater win, of course, number 17 is going to have a good chance at winning the championship. And look at this. We've got a lot of guys who have actually rejoined this lead pack because of the Aaron Walpole-Luke Rainey incident that slowed those guys down. Got about a 4-car breakaway here, and then the rest of the pack is caught up to the other pack. And oh no, almost 3 wide there with Zachary Fitzwater, Eli Bright, and John Arndt. You see Cameron Gaggi, who was in that main pack, he has fallen back to the end of this pack here, but it looks like it's going to eventually be one big pack. Eventually, these guys back here for 5th, they're racing for 5th, they should close in on this 4-car pack soon. Jonathan Rains is actually going for the 2nd position right now to the inside of Isaac Nichols, but it's Julius Anderson in the number 41 leading the field here in the Indianapolis 250 on lap 35 of 100. And Anderson looking very strong right now in that number 41 machine. He might be a threat to win this thing later on in the race. Up still, all jacked up from that Luke Rainey and Aaron Walpole incident there. That could have been massive, but fortunately they saved it. Luke Rainey, he actually recovered very well. He's up to the 4th position now, and he's tagged along on the lead pack. Cody Smart trying to close in, and here comes the defending champion of the Haas IndyCar Series, Cameron Garlington, in the number 77. He was a strong driver last year here in the Indianapolis 250. And, of course, he won the championship last year as well, so watch out for Garlington to surprise us all and possibly win this championship. Now, things could get very interesting here shortly, because we got a slow car on the racetrack. That is Davey Johnson in the 34, who had an issue. I believe he might have been involved in the first crash of the day. Not really concerned about the leaders trying to get around them, but when we get this double-wide pack, actually, they're starting to get single file now in this pack, so that's a good thing. But if these guys are going double-wide trying to get around Davey Johnson, it could be huge. Julius Anderson has led the past few laps here in the Indianapolis 250. Jonathan Rains has moved his way up to the 2nd position. Isaac Nichols has fallen back to the 4th position. And Jonathan Rains right behind this number 41 trying to get around the Indy 250 only driver. Jonathan Rains, mind to tell you, I do not believe he has ever won a race on Napa Fan before. But here he is about to win his first championship. Now that almost happened with Cody Smart last year in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Cody Smart had never won before on Napa Fan, but he was one of the final 4 drivers last season. Now I believe he finished in the 4th position of all those 4 guys, but still, he had a really good chance of winning the championship that year as well. Same here with Jonathan Rains. Jonathan Rains only 14 points behind Matt Dalio. Matt Dalio has crashed. These guys are closing in on Davey Johnson. And Jonathan Rains has gotten around Julius Anderson for the lead. And Jonathan Rains, who is the points leader at the moment. Matt Dalio, only unless Jonathan Rains and a lot of these guys battling for the championship crash in this race, Matt Delio's not going to have a chance at the championship. Davey Johnson majorly holding up this field. 3 cars break away, and these guys have to be patient while getting around this number 34. If you're impatient, you could cause a major crash. Julius Anderson majorly getting held up here by Davey Johnson. He was leading this race, and he has fallen outside the top 10 now. A tough break for the Indy 250 only driver of Julius Anderson. I wanted to say Jonathan Rains for some reason. He's leading in the number 17. Oh boy, 3 wide. That's in a safer position, however. Oh my goodness, Aaron Walpole, man, he's been very aggressive in this race. Of course, he's the defending winner of the Indianapolis 250, so you could expect him to be aggressive. But he pushed Julius Anderson up the racetrack there, and these guys still trying to get around Davey Johnson there. 3 wide, they're splitting the 34. Cameron Godju and Cameron Garlington doing so. They're going to all get around the number 34, and we're still green here in the Indianapolis 250. New leader, it's Luke Rainey in the number 67, who has gotten around Jonathan Rains. I believe these guys might have hit another lap car. Possible. They're trying to close in here on Jalarvin Alonso, who was involved in that second crash with Matt Delio. He is getting surpassed by all these guys, and I believe Jonathan Rains had some trouble getting around the 27. And it's now Luke Rainey in the number 67 leading the field, and that is not what Jonathan Rains wants to see in the number 17. And he's falling back right now. About Noah Kars. Noah Kars has moved his way into the top 5. Same with Cody Smart. Noah Kars right now running in the 4th position. Jonathan Rains is going to fall back to 6th. Rains is in 6th place right now, and if Rainey were to win, if Jonathan Rains finished in 6th, Luke Rainey would win the championship. Because they are only 34 points between those 2 drivers. Luke Rainey 34 points behind Jonathan Rains. Matt Delio has crashed in this race. He's only going to get 10 points towards the championship. And considering how strong Luke Rainey and Jonathan Rains are running in this race, I do not see the number 33 Matt Delio having any chance. So we're going to kind of count him out for now. He could still have a chance, but he might. I just don't see it happening with the strength of these guys running up front. Here comes Isaac Nichols trying to get to the inside of Luke Rainey for the lead. Not able to do it quite yet, and another slow car in the way. That's the pole sitter, Jesse Turner, who was involved in the first crash of the day. When Nathan Stapleton came up through the field. And just think about this one. Luke Rainey just a few laps ago almost crashed with Aaron Walpole. And here he is leading the Indianapolis 250. And got green flag pit stops beginning. We got ourselves Jonathan Rains, Matt Tuck, and Christian Master coming down the pit lane. The first guys in the 3rd cycle of pit stops here today at Indianapolis. They are getting around Jesse Turner just fine. And that's a good thing there. How about this one? Noah Kars in the number 28. He's another guy who has never won before on Napa Fan. How would it be if his first career win came in the Indianapolis 250? It almost happened last year for this guy when he was in an Indy 250 only driver, or in an Indy 250 only ride. Luke Rainey's going to come down the pit lane. That's going to relinquish the lead to the number 26 of Isaac Nichols. And looks like Noah Kars is going to fall back a little bit here. How about these Indy 250 only drivers? Cody Smart doing a fantastic job for Chip Ganassi Racing. And considering the other 3 Chip Ganassi guys and the days they've had, all the other Chip Ganassi guys are out of this race except for this guy, Cody Smart. Just think of that one for a second. And here is Cody Smart running in the top 5. Jonathan Rains has already come down the pit lane. And I'm trying to locate him on the racetrack. I do not see him. Where is he? He's coming down again. Oh my goodness, this is terrible for Jonathan Rains. He's going to get put a lap down because of this, I think. You know what? He just had a very slow pit stop. That's what happened. The guys who came in with him were Matt Tuck and Christian Master. They're coming out of they're entering turn number 4 right now. While Jonathan Rains is just coming off. So Rains is going to lose a lot of ground to the rest of these guys. And there's Luke Rainey coming down the pit, or coming off the pit lane, I should say. We'll see if anybody else has stayed out. I do not believe anybody else has. And if I'm not mistaken, I think these guys at the moment are a lap down. And Audra Baranowskis is theoretically the leader right now. There's Max Anderson coming down the pit lane. You see a lot of these guys here on the pit lane coming off right now. There's Luke Rainey. No, actually, that's Eric Almenhart, excuse me, and the number 68, the 2 teammates there. Luke Rainey has also come off the pit lane. So is Aaron Walpole, and I believe the majority of these guys are coming down now. I think. Yeah, look at this. Majority of the leaders coming down now. A very drawn-out cycle right there, and it's going to be interesting to see who gets the lead. Still showing Isaac Nichols out front in the number 26. I'm trying to locate the number 26. There he is. He actually stayed out for quite a while there, and he did, in fact, lead lap number 45. You see the finish line is actually just behind the 26 of Isaac Nichols, his pit stall there. But I don't think Paul Minnick is on the lead lap right now. And I believe this whole thing's going to cycle through right now with Isaac Nichols being out front. I don't think Daniel McMillan's on the lead lap. Trying to find Matt Tuck and Christian Master. And I believe they might be quite a ways behind these guys. It's possible. Just going to have to see how it all cycles through. I'm not entirely sure who the leader's going to be. It's going to be Luke Rainey. That's who it's going to be. Luke Rainey's going to win the race off of that cycle. And Rainey's going to pull away here from Isaac Nichols and Noah Cars. Noah Cars, a great pit stop on that number 28 team. These guys, Andretti teammates. Keep that one in mind. They're both going to be running strong here in this race. Number 7, I believe, of Eli Bright is going to end up 4th, with John Arndt in 5th. Audra Baranowskis is going to be 6th. I think that's how it's going to cycle through here. And yes, that is how it cycles through. So how about Eli Bright and John Arndt? Fantastic pit stops for those guys. They're now in contention to win this race. Audra Baranowskis is 6th. And Aaron Walpole, the defending winner of this race, 7th. There's Christian Master, Cody Smart, Adam Lewis still in this thing, and Matt Tuck a little ways behind. But now it's a lot more spread out than it was earlier on in this race. And it's Luke Rainey quite a ways ahead from the rest of the field. And Jonathan Rains at the end of all that is 20th. So right now, if they finish the way they're currently running, Luke Rainey would win the championship in the Haas IndyCar Series. How about that? He's closing in on Daniel McMillan, very close to the number 39 there. I do not think Luke Rainey's going to stay out front like this, however, because we got these guys all in a group right here, drafting each other. They're actually closing in. It's getting bigger for these guys. Oh boy, watch out! Oh man. Very close there with Paul Minnick coming off the pit lane. Number 6 a lap down. Almost going 3 wide with Daniel McMillan. Not happening, which is a good thing. But Noah Cars, I believe, is up to the 2nd position right now with John Arndt. And the number 26 of Isaac Nichols running in the 4th position, with Eli Bright running in the 5th position. And Luke Rainey's lead is diminishing here as these guys who are in a pack are closing in. Audra Baranowska still in this thing. In the number 16, I do not believe a woman has ever won in the Haas IndyCar Series before. It'd be something if it was in the Indianapolis 250. Aaron Walpole trying to go back-to-back in this race. He's running 7th. He won last week in Kentucky. And he might have a good chance at winning here today at Indianapolis yet again. Cody Smart. Oh, in the wall! Upside down! Matt Tuck trying to get around Paul Minnick. And our 3rd caution of the day is going to occur right here, I do believe. He actually kept on going. And we got another incident there. The number 22 of Cameron Gaju. Paul Minnick getting into a couple of drivers. I do not believe the caution came out because he kept on going. See, where is the pace car? Yes, the caution did not come out for that incident. That is a tough break for Matt Tuck. We had that same situation happen last year. Cameron Gaju and I believe it might have been Christian Master crashed in that same very turn, but their momentum kept on going, and the caution never came out. Matt Tuck is still out there in the number 98. Had those wheels off the ground there for a while. But that's a very unfortunate one for the number 98. I said earlier on that he was one of the stronger guys in the field, and it looks like his car isn't running as good as everybody else's, and that's a tough break for the number 98 of Matt Tuck. We've just had a change for the lead, and guess who it is? It's John Arndt in the number 11. He won the 500th race on Napa Fan back in April. And pit strategy, a great pit stop on this team, has brought him to the lead. The number 11 of John Arndt leads it. The halfway point was led by Luke Rainey, but the first lap of the second half of the race will be led by John Arndt. These sounds here for the IndyCars are fantastic. Let's go ahead and crank it up for you guys here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. fantastic sounds here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And you're going to be hearing that tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow as well, in the Indianapolis 500. My uncle emailed me earlier today and said that the Indianapolis 500 has a chance of being rained out. Now, I might tell you it's Wednesday. Weather could change for Indianapolis. I really hope it does, because I got to work on Memorial Day. I don't want it to be run on Memorial Day, because I got to work then. Anyways, Luke Rainey still out front in the number 67. He took the lead away from John Arndt. Arndt has fallen back to the 6th position in the number 11. And this race definitely getting interesting. How about this? Eli Bright. He was fastest in the practice session last week when it was just the Haas IndyCar Series drivers. They're closing in here on Stuart Gratton. Gratton is going to go a lap down, and Eli Bright's going to take the lead away. How about this number 7? Hardly talked about him at all this season in the Haas IndyCar Series, but here he is leading the field in the biggest race of the season, the Indianapolis 250. Stuart Gratton holding these guys up here, and that's exactly what Eli Bright wants to see. Lap 55 of 100 here in the Indianapolis 250. Eli Bright leads the field. Noah Cars, Audra Baranowskis trying to get around the number 12. Number 67 still stuck behind him. That's going to allow Isaac Nichols and John Arndt to close in. Here comes the number 8. That is driven by Cody Smart. Number 5, Aaron Walpole. Adam Lewis running in the 9th position right now, and Christian Matcher runs in the 10th position. Then it's Jordan Lopez in the number 14, Julius Anderson in the number 41, the number 18 of Zachary Fitzwater, the number 77 of Cameron Garlington. The number 68 of Eric Almenhart is currently running in the 15th position, an Indy 250 only driver there. The number 91 of Max Anderson runs in the 16th position. Matt Tuck, even after that crash, is still on the lead lap running in the 17th position. And Jonathan Rains, he might have had an issue on his race car. If you remember, just before that third cycle of pit stops happened, I believe he was slowing down a little bit. He is down to the 18th position right now, the last car on the lead lap. 18 drivers on the lead lap of 33 competitors, and I'm pretty sure that there are 25 drivers still on the racetrack here for the Indianapolis 250. Paul Minnick knocked out after the crash with Matt Tuck that did not bring out a caution. Eli Bright has some guys behind him. Noah Cars, Isaac Nichols, Audra Baranowskis. A side-by-side battle between John Arndt and Cody Smart, Luke Rainey, and Aaron Walpole, the defending winner of this race, right behind these guys in this pack. 8 guys right now in this lead pack right now for the Indianapolis 250 lead. Lap 58 of 100. Last year we did not even have a caution until lap 61. It's been the longest green flag run of the race so far. I believe the last caution came out was lap 22 of the race. It was lap 22 of the race, the last caution. Going across the line here for lap number 59. That is going to be a 37-lap green flag run. Noah Cars to the inside of Eli Bright for the lead, and the runner-up last year trying to get some redemption from last year's disappointing finish. He's going to try to block the 26 of Isaac Nichols, not able to do so. And these guys closing in on Daniel McMillan. These guys better be careful getting around this 39. That Baranowskis, she's going to make it 3 wide. Heading into turn number 3. Is she? Yes, she is. We're 3 wide in the Indianapolis 250. Still 3 wide. 3 wide for the lead as Baranowskis goes to the inside of Nichols. And somehow, someway, they figure it out. Fantastic job by those guys, but Eli Bright's going to make it 3 wide. The number 7 looking very aggressive. Will he make it 3 wide in the 1? Yes, he will. Baranowskis in the wall with Isaac Nichols and a hard crash in turn number 1. Oh, don't hit him, don't hit him. It looks like that's going to be it. But the third caution of the day will come out from this accident with Audra Baranowskis and Isaac Nichols. They just got too aggressive yet again. They just got too aggressive. We've seen that enough already in today's race. And it's going to be no contest at all for Eli Bright, who made it 3 wide. And the number 7 is going to win the race back to the line. And that's about the moment last year where we had our first caution. Already had 3 of them this year. But you got to think, 3 cautions in 61 laps, that ain't too bad. It really isn't. Well, after the longest green flag run of the race, Eli Bright is the leader. Luke Rainey is second. The number 28 of NOAA Cars will be third. Defending Indianapolis 250 champion Aaron Walpole will be fourth. John Arndt, Cody Smart, Adam Lewis up to seventh. Christian Master, Jordan Lopez, and Julius Anderson, the top 10. The outside pole sitter, Audra Baranowskis and Isaac Nichols, the unfortunate victims of this one. Fortunately, it was only those two drivers involved in the turn number 1. Eli Bright made it 3 wide for the lead, and into the wall they went. They went 3 wide when they were trying to get around Daniel McMillan. They saved it, but they just couldn't get out of the 3 wide situation. They wanted to go 3 wide, at least Eli Bright did, and it worked out for Eli Bright. He's now the leader, and there are fewer guys on the lead lap now after that incident. But we're going to get some more guys in contention here with these guys getting bunched up here for this restart. So what happened last year with the Indianapolis 250, we had a lot more guys still in contention last year because we went so long under green. And Aaron Walpole, who was really nowhere near the front of the field in last year's race, because they bunched up near the end, he was able to work his way up through the field late in the going and get the win. Now this time, Aaron Walpole, he's been up front most of the race, so I'd expect him to be, leading near the end. Now, of course, he could crash. Audra Baranowskis was leading near the end. Isaac Nichols, they were leading near the, or they were not leading near the end. We're not really near the end of the race yet, but they were leading, and they were pretty dominant drivers in this race, and they got involved in the crash. So that might happen to Walpole, that might happen to Eli Bright, that might happen to all of these guys. So just keep that in mind. A crash could take out these competitors, and we just saw that with Audra Baranowskis and Isaac Nichols. Eli Bright will win the race off of the pit lane. These guys who are still out on the racetrack are a lap down. Some of them might actually stay out, so that could get very interesting there with these guys starting ahead of the leaders. A reminder, we have single file restarts, and we do not take those lap cars and put them on the inside lane. They all start in a single file line for every race here in the Haas IndyCar Series. Not like that in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, but here for the Haas IndyCar Series, these guys always start in a single file line. Anyways, let's go ahead and review the crash that brought out the third caution here in the NRLOA Indianapolis 250. 3 wide here at Indianapolis just does not work. Eli Bright trying to make it 3 wide heading into turn number 1. Audra Baranowskis trying to go up the racetrack in reaction to Eli Bright's move. And Isaac Nichols, unfortunately, involved as well. It's to the outside of Audra Baranowskis there, the 16 and the 26, riding the wall. And every single time we see a crash like that, they always flip, they always hit the wall. It happens every single time. And with the speeds these guys run at well over 200 miles per hour, it's got to expect it to happen. The good thing, and I got to give a big accolade to everybody behind this crash, nobody hit Baranowskis or Nichols, and that is a fantastic thing. We saw that happen with Matt Dalio in the second crash earlier on in this race with Chris Skinler and Garrett Sonor. But fortunately here, Baranowskis and Nichols did not get hit, and they're the only 2 drivers involved in this crash, the only 2 drivers who will get knocked out in this crash here in the Indianapolis 250. And it was about 225 miles per hour heading into turn number 1 for these guys. That's how fast they go here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Baranowskis and Nichols. That was a violent tumble for the number 16. I believe she barrel rolled in there very quickly, and she still drove the thing away. How about that? Gotta hand it to the safety of these race cars, man. I mean, I will say this, with this mod, these cars, they don't take damage too well. I mean, they can hit the wall like that, and it looks like the thing hardly did anything. And the real Indy cars, like, when they touch the bumper, debris flies everywhere, and it always is chaotic. With these cars, you can smash them into the wall at 200 miles per hour, and the chassis is still the same as it was before they hit the wall. That's how this mod is, but that does not mean that Baranowskis and Nichols are going to continue. Still, as you can see, too much damage to Baranowskis and Nichols in that crash, and they're unfortunately going to get knocked out here in the Indianapolis 250. The outside pole sitter, just not her day in the number 16. We'll be back after this commercial break here from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The Indianapolis 250 for 2017 will return in just a moment.
Fill our hearts and flood our Just to know you and to make you know me. Left you.
We are back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the NRLOA Indianapolis 250 in 2017. And Eli Bright, who was fastest in last week's first practice session with the Haas IndyCar Series drivers. He's leading the field right now on the number 7. Great run for him. He was the one who caused the crash, however, as he made it 3 wide when he could have avoided that situation. I was talking earlier when Hair Gel and Alonso crashed Matt Dalio. Especially at that point, it's just too early to be that aggressive in this long race. And for Eli Bright, it didn't really hurt him, but it hurt Audra Baranowskis and Isaac Nichols. And those two guys might not necessarily be too happy with the way Eli Bright drove it into the corner like that. Now, Luke Rainey, of all the guys running right now, he's got the best chance at the championship because Jonathan Rains, he's actually still on the lead lap. I thought he was a lap down. Jonathan Rains is actually still on the lead lap, and Rains might actually still have a chance of winning this championship. I actually wasn't thinking about that there. But Jonathan Rains, he's got a competitor, and that's Luke Rainey in the number 67. If Luke Rainey wins this thing and Jonathan Rains finishes 5th or worse, I think Rainey's going to win the championship. Got the defending Indianapolis 250 champion. A great run for him here today, trying to go back-to-back in this race. And he's running 3rd. John Arndt is in the 4th position. Noah Cars, who was the runner-up last year, is 5th. And that's about all the time we have before we get to the restart here in the Indianapolis 250. Eli Bright leads them down. Now, a little bit of a cleaner restart this time. Nobody really going double wide at the start of this one. Now, Eric Almenhart, he's 9th right now in the number 68. Luke Rainey is his teammate. Rainey's been very strong, but I believe this 68 might have some damage to his race car. Zachary Fitzwater, he's still in this thing. He has a good chance of winning the championship as well if he can get up there and get the win. And let's not count out Jonathan Rains. At the moment, the way things are running, he is the points leader. Matt Dalio crashed earlier. And that means that the number 33 most likely will not win the championship. And if Jonathan Rains, he finishes, if he finishes in the top 20, Jonathan Rains is probably going to win the championship. And Jonathan Rains as well in the top 20. He's 9th right now. Luke Rainey has just passed Eli Bright for the lead. Lap 65 of 100. And Luke Rainey knows the best way he can win this championship is to win the race. And Rainey, the guy who won at Richmond earlier this season, he does have a win this season in the Haas IndyCar Series, trying to become only the second 2-time winner this season. Matt Dalio is a 2-time winner, is actually a 3-time winner of the season, and trying to become only the second multiple-time winner this season in the Haas IndyCar Series. That's Luke Rainey. A lot of one-time winners this season, with the exception of who was the points leader, Matt Dalio, who won 3 times this season. Eli Bright, however, is going to get back to the inside of Luke Rainey for the lead. And Bright's going to take it back on lap 67 of 100. Here comes Noah Cars in the number 28, still trying to grab his first career win. Who would have thought that a year later, after Noah Cars almost won this race last year, that he'd still be winless on the channel? Well, he's got a good chance of doing so here today in that number 28. Deep into the race, he's still running and running up front. Christian Master won in 2015 when it was a 200-miler. He's running in the 3rd position right now. He crashed early on in last year's race, but he's got a really good run going for him right now in that number 25. And Luke Rainey's falling back here to 4th. John Arndt won the 500th race on Napa Fan earlier in April. And Cody Smart, he's been winning a lot this year, trying to grab his 5th career Napa Fan win. And quite possibly, or quite arguably, what am I saying? His biggest win of his career. It's not an argue at all. It's obviously the biggest win of his career if he can win today. There goes Noah Cars, and I believe for the first time today, the number 28 is going to lead the field. And a fan favorite right there, Noah Cars. He's never won before in Napa Fan, but he'd love to do it here today. Now, Luke Rainey, see what he did? He fell back behind. He cannot be over-aggressive. He knows what happens. He's seen it. His spotter's been telling him what's been going on with these guys going 3 wide. He's in a championship position, and he knows that if he went 3 wide there heading into turn number 1, there might not have been a chance that he would have gotten out of it. So he backed off. That's what you're supposed to do. And I'm sure Noah Cars and Eli Bright greatly appreciated. Of course, Eli Bright was a guy who went 3 wide and caused the last caution. There goes Noah Cars to the inside of Eli Bright, still battling side by side with the number 7. I believe this time he's not going to be able to clear him. Bright's going to get a run in the outside lane. This could be the finish. Who knows? We could be side by side at the line on lap 100. I'm looking forward to lap 100. We got ourselves 31 laps to go here in the 2017 Indianapolis 250. It's going to be a good one in a fight to the finish. Cody Smart up to second as Noah Cars is finally taking the lead away from Eli Bright. Cody Smart is going to take the second position away from the number 7. And remember, last year an Indy 250 only driver won this race. And if you win the Indianapolis 250, you get to drive full-time in the Haas IndyCar Series for 2018. And Cody Smart would love to do that, kind of move up the ranks here with these Indy Series. And number 25, running in the 3rd position, Christian Master knows how to win this race. And here comes Zachary Fitzwater and Jonathan Rains. They had fallen off from the pack before that 3rd caution came out, but here they are running in the top 5 right now. Zachary Fitzwater, 42 points behind Mac Delio coming into this race. He only needs 28 points on Jonathan Rains to win the championship. Fitzwater has a better chance than Luke Rainey at winning this championship. And Fitzwater, especially considering that he's moved his way up front in that number 18 for Dale Coyne Racing, he's got a good chance of winning it here today in the NRLOA Indianapolis 250 for both the race and also the Haas IndyCar Series Championship. Side by side, Christian Master and Cody Smart for the lead. Master, one of the best drivers still running in the field. Of course, that number 18 of Zachary Fitzwater, he's been racing a long time as well. Both those guys, long-time veterans here on Napa Fan. And it's looking like 2015. It was Master, Lewis Stevens, and Zachary Fitzwater battling for the win in the 2015 Indianapolis 200. So looking a lot like 2015 for these guys. I can tell you that much. But Master out front right now in the number 25. Really haven't seen much of him today, but he has found his way up front. And look at this. We got a pretty big pack here. Some other guys really haven't talked about too much this race. Cameron Garlington running up front in the number 67. There's Adam Lewis in the number 19. John Arndt in this pack. Julius Anderson as well. All of these guys in this pack are on the lead lap, and we had a little bit of a breakaway there. A 4-car breakaway between Cody Smart, Christian Master, Zachary Fitzwater, and Eli Bright. Noah Cars, Aaron Walpole leading that second pack there. But you see all these guys, all the leaders bunched up. Everybody else on the racetrack quite a ways behind. Eric Goldenhart, I believe he is still on the lead lap. He is 7.86 seconds behind. Max Anderson's also on the lead lap as well, number 91. But he's 10 seconds behind in that machine. Everybody else is a lap down. Only 15 drivers still on the lead lap. You see all these lap down cars around the racetrack, and these leaders might catch up to him before this race. Oh, they'll definitely catch up to him before this race is over, especially if it goes green flag. Now mainly single file, and this is when they go the fastest here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, when they're all going single file like this. Look at how orderly that is for these guys, and fantastic racing by these guys here. It's been a fantastic race so far. It's going by pretty fast for me, I can tell you that right now. Lap 74 of 100. This thing is closing in. There's still over a quarter of the race to go here in the Indianapolis 250, so this thing is far from over here at the Brickyard. Jordan Lopez has found his way back in this lead pack. He's going to the 5th position as he gets around defending Indy 250 champion Aaron Walpole. And Jonathan Rains, man, I'm telling you, it's going to be between Rainey, Fitzwater, and Rains. It's going to be one of those 3 guys who wins this championship. All 3 of them, they're still in the lead pack. And, you know what? Let's not count out Cameron Garlington. Cameron Garlington could win this race, and he could win the championship. What am I saying? He's only 56 points behind Dalio. And, he is 42 points behind Rains. So, not too far behind Jonathan Rains. He could definitely win the championship here today. What am I saying? But as for everybody else, except for Master, Master has a very slim chance. He would actually need Jonathan Rains to finish 25th or worse. So I don't believe Master's going to win the championship. It's still a great race for him, number 25. He's leading the field right now as they catch up on the number 34 of Davey Johnson. He is holding up Cody Smart, Jordan Lopez, and Aaron Walpole. And Davey Johnson, he's gotten in the way of these leaders quite a bit in today's race, but while these guys trying to get around Davey Johnson, they really haven't had too many issues with him. It shows how much of an experienced driver that number 34 is, knows how to just kind of avoid trouble. And a great run for Davey Johnson here in today's, well, great job not getting involved in any crashes for Davey Johnson. Not necessarily a great run because he's kind of deep in the field, but still, he's not doing too bad considering that he's a slower player, to say that. Master just lost the lead. Eli Bright got around him. And now as these guys hit on Daniel McMillan, the number 18 of Zachary Fitzwater pulls away. And Fitzwater, he knows that if he wins this race, he's got a great chance of winning the championship. And he's starting to pull away. He's pulling away tremendously from the rest of the field. Here is the number 11 of John R. taking second. Adam Lewis in the number 19. He still has a shot at this one. Not sure if he's ever won before in Napa Fan. I'm pretty sure that Jonathan Rains has never won before in Napa Fan either. And both of these guys trying to go for their first ever win, I do believe, on this channel in quite possibly the biggest, quite arguably, the biggest race that I do on this channel. Adam Lewis taking second. Jonathan Rains is going to take third from John R. And here he comes. Cameron Garlington, if you remember last year in the finale race at California, you know, he was kind of deep in there. It was Davey Johnson and Elijah Gordon battling for the championship last year. They crashed early, and Cameron Garlington took it. Will the dark horse for the championship get it done? We're just going to have to see. You know, I completely forgot this, but Cameron Garlington won the road course race back on Monday. So watch out for this number 77. He is going to have a good chance of winning this championship. But then again, the points leader at the moment, Jonathan Rains, is still up front. I'm saying that he's the points leader because Matt Delio's knocked out. And the way these guys are running, Jonathan Rains is going to surpass Matt Delio in the points very easily. We had another caution on the racetrack. And it looks like something happened in turn number 4. Oh, and it was for the leaders as well. I believe these guys trying to get around Daniel McMillan, Christian Master in the 25 down the pit lane. And while we were talking about that championship fight there with Cameron Garlington having a chance at the championship, another caution occurred, the 4th one of the day here in the Indianapolis 250. Zachary Fitzwater won the race back to the line. His teammate Adam Lewis is second. How about those Dale Coyne Racing machines? Doing pretty good here in the Indianapolis 250. And this could get interesting because going to come down here. I'm pretty sure the fuel window's about 20 laps here at Indianapolis. We're coming in with 21 to go. This could be a fuel strategy race. Think of that one for a second. These guys are going to come down the pit lane for, I believe, the 5th cycle of pit stops in today's race. And I believe it was a crash involving Daniel McMillan, Eric Almenhart, a couple of Indy 250 only drivers, along with a winner contender, Christian Master, in the number 25. That's an unfortunate one for the 25. He was running very well. And I believe he's going to fail to finish here today at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Definitely a lot more calamities here today than we had last year in the Indianapolis 250 for 2016. But that does not mean that the 2017 edition has been boring. It's been a very entertaining race here today. And how about this one? A little bit of strategy? Nope. Actually, yeah. A little bit of strategy there. Adam Lewis is going to take the lead in the number 19. And he might not have taken tires. We've seen it happen before where guys do this. They forget fuel, they don't get tires, and they come back in. That might happen with Adam Lewis here. I'm not entirely sure. Jonathan Rains is going to be second, but Zachary Fitzwater, who only needs 28 points on the number 17. Zachary Fitzwater has a win. He holds the tiebreaker on Jonathan Rains, I'm pretty sure. Now, if Jonathan, yeah, he does. Zachary Fitzwater holds the tiebreaker on Jonathan Rains. So if Zachary Fitzwater can tie with Jonathan Rains, Fitzwater will win the championship. Like I said, he's only 28 points behind Rains right now. He's going to have a good chance at doing so, especially if he can get a win. If he wins and Jonathan Rains finishes in third, that's a 30-point difference, and that's all Fitzwater needs. But anyways, we do not exactly know what happened in turn 4 quite yet. But let's go ahead and review the crash that brought out the 4th caution here today in the NRLOA Indianapolis 250. And this is what happened here. Daniel McMillan, a much slower race car. Christian Master, much faster. He got stuck behind him, just a little impatient. And this did not end well for Christian Master at all. He hits that inside wall and flips upside down. And he massively tumbles. I think he hits the catch fence almost head first, but that's a good thing that he didn't hit it head first. But you see that thing spinning like a top in that number 25. And he crashed in turn 4 last year as well. And he actually lands on top of Daniel McMillan. You see Davey Johnson drive by just fine, but the number 68 of Eric Almenhart is not going to avoid this. Neither is Ryan Gondillo. Gondillo's going to clip that 25 there. He's going to go spinning, and Almenhart in the number 68. Goes spinning in the number 68, and took a pretty hard hit to the number 25. And Ryan Gondillo also spun in the number 3. Replay this one in real time. Christian Master clips Daniel McMillan. McMillan goes around, and Master into the inside wall hard and upside down. And then you see Ryan Gondillo. He's going to come in here. He's going to hit that 25, and so is the 68, an Indy 250 only driver of Eric Almenhart. Of course, Daniel McMillan, also an Indy 250 only driver, getting involved in this crash, and a very unfortunate one for those guys involved. We'll be back after this commercial break here from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The number 18 of Zachary Fitzwater is not the leader anymore because Adam Lewis took a little strategy and came out first. Let's see what he does in the restart after this commercial break from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Rolling, Cody Smart and Emily Anderson bouncing off each other.
Back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the NRLOA Indianapolis 250 for 2017. Adam Lewis in an Indy 250 only ride. Aaron Walpole won in an Indy 250 only ride last year. Adam Lewis might do so here today in the number 19. He's going to restart the race with only 18 laps to go in the first position. And for the championship, you got Zachary Fitzwater, Jonathan Rains. Now, if Jonathan Rains finishes second or first, he wins the championship, guaranteed. But if Fitzwater wins and Jonathan Rains finishes third, Zachary Fitzwater wins the championship, everybody. Could get very interesting near the end of this one. Zachary Fitzwater is second. Jonathan Rains is third. Noah Cars, the runner-up last year, is running in the fourth position. We got John Arndt, the number 11, running fifth. The defending champion of the Haas IndyCar Series, Cameron Garlington. He's got a shot at winning the championship yet again. He's sixth. We got Julius Anderson, defending Indianapolis 250 champion Aaron Walpole. Luke Rainey still has a chance at the championship as well. And Cody Smart, another Indy 250 only driver, running in the 10th position. This time we're actually finally going to get the restart. And Adam Lewis is going to pull away here with 18 laps to go in the 2017 Indianapolis 250. The blood pressure is high for all of these drivers and even myself because I am majorly looking forward to seeing what happens in this race. Hopefully we do not get another caution and we can race this thing to the end under green. Now, big question is, will these guys be able to make it to the end? Now, I'm not really good with fuel strategy or anything like that. I can never remember like what the fuel window is for these guys. But I think it's about 20 laps. I could be wrong, but I think it's about 20 laps. And you might be seeing these guys coming down right near the end of this thing, and it could get very, very interesting. Adam Lewis pulling away in the number 19. He is going to stay out front. He's going to lead lap 83. 17 to go in the Indianapolis 250. Jonathan Rains has never won before on Napa Fan. He wants to win the championship and the Indianapolis 250. How's that for your first win? You get a championship and you get basically the biggest race win as well. That's huge if Jonathan Rains can pull that off, and that's what Rains is going for up to second. Here comes John Arndt. Dark Horse Cameron Garlington. Dark Horse Julius Anderson. Even John Arndt. Those guys, we really haven't seen much of them all race long, and here they are running up front late in the going. Adam Lewis coming down the pit lane. And this is what I said, you can't come down the pit lane, just take a little bit of fuel and expect to make it to the end. I do not understand this strategy. It happens a lot. And Adam Lewis, he's not going to win the race because of that. A very unfortunate break for him. For the lead, John Arndt to the inside of Jonathan Rains. And the number 11 is going to take it. With 16 laps to go on the Indianapolis 250, here comes Zachary Fitzwater. And like I said, if he wins and Jonathan Rains finishes third or worse, Fitzwater wins the championship. It's a double points race. 100 points for the win. It's 70 points for third place. Rains is going to lose third from Aaron Walpole in the number 5. We'll be calling his name at the finish again. We very well could. But Fitzwater side by side with John Arndt. Both of these guys very experienced drivers running up front, and same with Aaron Walpole. Walpole, a very experienced driver. He's going to take the second position in the number 5. John Arndt falls back. It's between Aaron Walpole and the possible champion, Zachary Fitzwater. But Jonathan Rains moving his way back up to 3rd. And if Walpole gets around Zachary Fitzwater, Rains is going to be back in the championship position. But the defending Indianapolis 250 winner, Aaron Walpole, is out front with 14 laps to go in this race. How about this? If he can win this race 2 years in a row, he's just a master of this race if he can do that. Let me tell you that. But Jonathan Rains, he wants to be the Ultramaster and get his first career win on Napa Fin while winning the biggest race on Napa Fin and the Haas IndyCar Series Championship. Think you can pull it off? You gotta beat all these other guys. Cody Smart, and here comes Luke Rainey in the number 67. Rainey with a great chance of winning the championship if he can finish a couple of positions ahead of Jonathan Rains and win the race. But the Indy 250 only driver of Cody Smart leads the field, coming to 13 laps to go here in the NRLOA Indianapolis 250. Luke Rainey is going to get to the inside of him, however, and Rainey is going to try to take the lead heading into turn number 1. Jordan Lopez is running in the 3rd position, and Zachary Fitzwater is back on the inside lane. It looks like Eli Bright and Julius Anderson might have gotten stuck behind somebody. They've fallen off the pack, and now I believe it is only 8 drivers who really have a good chance of winning this thing anymore. But it's Luke Rainey leading the field in the number 67. He got around Cody Smart, and the number 67 is going to have a great chance of winning this thing and winning the championship. Cody Smart to the inside of the 67. 12 laps to go in the Indianapolis 250. Cody Smart's going to repay the favor to the number 67. Rainey got around him the last lap. Smart's going to get around him here. Jonathan Rains to the inside of Zachary Fitzwater. It is going to be between Rains, Fitzwater, and Rainey. Cameron Garlington has fallen behind. I think something happened to Garlington. He came down the pit lane. I'm wondering if that 77 team thought they could not make it to the end, and they're coming down now so they don't have to come in at the end of the race. And that's another big question. Will these guys be able to make it to the end of the race without having to come in again? Jonathan Rains, a huge block on NOAA cars, coming to 11 laps to go. And Jonathan Rains trying to win the biggest race of his life. Will he be able to do it in the number 17 and win the championship as well? John Arndt's going to take 2nd. Jordan Lopez and Aaron Walpole on this inside lane. Walpole with a great chance in making history here today. It's going to be 10 laps to go in the 2017 Indianapolis 250 next time by. There's Cameron Garlington. He's going to be on the tail end of the lead lap here. And if these guys do not come down the pit lane before the race is over, they're going to be swallowed up. I believe Noah Cars just hit the outside wall. And he's going to hold up Cody Smart and Zachary Fitzwater for doing so. The green flag is still out and Jonathan Rains is still out front. It is Rains, Arndt, Lopez, and Walpole the top 4. Luke Rainey up to the 5th position in the number 67 with Zachary Fitzwater running 6th. A championship on the line. If Fitzwater or Rainey wins and the 17 falls far enough back, we could be seeing a totally different champion than the leader of this race. 29 laps to go in the Indianapolis 250 next time by. John Arndt almost clipped the 17. And the number 11 trying to get to the inside of Jonathan Rains for the lead. Cameron Garlington's going to get in the way here. And the number 11 at John Arndt's going to pull away from Jonathan Rains. Rains trying to get back to the inside. Jordan Lopez was there, and he could not do it. And they're bunching back up, but John Arndt is pulling away in the number 11. He won the 500th race on Napa Fin about 2 months ago, and he might just top that with the Indianapolis 250 victory. A bigger race here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway if he can pull it off. But these guys in a line, Luke Rainey and Zachary Fitzwater have passed the number 17 and Jonathan Rains, and they're going to have a chance at the championship right here. Jordan Lopez, a dark horse for this one. Wouldn't it be something if he won? It'd be something if any of these guys won. And that means that something's going to happen because somebody's got to win. John Arndt out front with now 8 laps to go in the 2017 Indianapolis 250. Luke Rainey for 2nd to the inside of Jordan Lopez. And Jonathan Rains, I believe he has fallen back to the 6th position. Rains is battling for the 2nd position Trying to think how that is in the points, but can't really figure it out right now. It's actually, for 6th position, it's 64 points for finishing 6th, 80 points for finishing 2nd, and Reigns would still be the champion. If Rainey or Fitzwater win this race, however, and Reigns is back in there, I believe Rainey or Fitzwater is going to win the championship. Once we get the official results, I'll be able to tell who won the championship. I guarantee that. But John are leading the field with now 7 to go in the Indianapolis 250. Will he pull it off and get the biggest win of his career? Luke Rainey running in the 2nd position. He's going to try to pass him here. Zachary Fitzwater also behind these guys. They're going to get in the way here. Jonathan Reigns is going to close in a little bit as the number 34 of Davey Johnson holds up the field. Here comes the 17. They're 3 wide. That's John Hart to the inside there of Davey Johnson. They came close to crashing, but these guys have bunched back up. And now 6 laps to go here in the Indianapolis 250. Luke Rainey out front in the number 67. Zachary Fitzwater 2nd. Jonathan Reigns is far back enough that if either of these guys win, they win the championship as well. But they're not thinking about the championship, they're thinking about the win. And that's what we're going to focus on right now in these final 5.5 laps. Luke Rainey, Zachary Fitzwater, Jordan Lopez, Cody Smart, an Indy 250 only driver, running in the 3rd position late in the going. But it's Luke Rainey in the number 67 leading the field, coming to 5 laps to go in the Indy 250. It's getting good here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Only 5 laps remain in the 2017 edition of the Great Race. Fitzwater still running in the 2nd position with Luke Rainey leading the field. Rainey has been a very dominant guy here today, but he's going to lose the lead here. Fitzwater trying to get a run to the inside. He does not have any help, and Rainey's going to stay out front, or is he? Fitzwater doing all he can to stay alongside the 67. Rainey's going to block him. Coming to 4 to go. Luke Rainey still out front. Will Luke Rainey win the race and win the Haas IndyCar Series Championship? Jonathan Reigns running in the 5th position. It's a 32-point gap between Luke Rainey and Jonathan Reigns. It's just going to be very interesting to see where they finish. Reigns is going to take 4th here. Oh boy, they came close to crashing there, but they did not. Lap 97 of 100. 3.5 laps to go on the Indianapolis 250, and Luke Rainey is still out front. Zachary Fitzwater still right behind him. Cody Smart with a chance at this victory, and Jonathan Reigns is here as well. Noah Cars, John Hart, Aaron Walpole, Jordan Lopez. They still have chances. I don't know if they're going to do it, but it's 3 laps to go, and Luke Rainey has not been able, nobody has been able to pass Luke Rainey here late in the going. That number 67 is very strong right now, and they're single file. It's hard to pass when they're single file, but this is the Indianapolis 250. They're going to find a way to pass this 67, and that 67 is going to find a way to block as well. And blocking is legal, by the way. 2.5 laps to go in the 2017 Indianapolis 250. Cody Smart to the inside of Zachary Fitzwater as Jonathan Reigns closes in. And Reigns trying to get around the 18 if he can. Not able to do so. These guys staying single file, and Luke Rainey's pulling away. They cannot get around this 67, but they're trying to back up a little bit and get the push around the 67. 2 laps to go in the Indianapolis 250. Luke Rainey, a Pennsylvania native, leading the field late in the going. Oh boy, they're going to close in on here, Jarvin Alonso. He's going to get in the way of Luke Rainey. A little bit of a bump between Cody Smart and Zachary Fitzwater, and Smart's going to get around the 18, but Alonso's going to block the 8. Jonathan Reigns falling back on the outside as Luke Rainey pulls away. The number 8 of Cody Smart's going to get around Alonso with John Hart and Noah Cars in the inside lane. And here we go. It's 1 lap to go as Luke Rainey's pulling away in the number 67. 1 lap to go in the Indianapolis 250 for 2017. They're battling for 2nd place. John Hart's trying to take 2nd away from Cody Smart. Will these guys close in on Luke Rainey here on this final lap? I don't think they will. I think Luke Rainey's just won this thing. And if he wins this thing, he wins the Indianapolis 250, of course, and he wins the Haas IndyCar Series Championship. They're single file. John Hart and Cody Smart trying to close in, but I think this thing might be over. Or is it? Here comes Ryan Gardillo. He's going to decide the winner of this race. Will Luke Rainey get around the 3, or will John Hart close? It's not going to happen for anybody else. Luke Rainey wins the Indianapolis 250 here in the Haas IndyCar Series, and he wins the 2017 Haas IndyCar Series Championship as well. Luke Rainey, your winner here at the Brickyard. And I just about lost my voice there as well. Oh boy. Voice exercises are good for you. Tell my voice that right now. Luke Rainey gets it done at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He wins the Indianapolis 250, and he also wins the Haas IndyCar Series Championship as well. And congratulations to Luke Rainey. He has done it in the biggest race on Napa Fan. A fantastic finish there. It came close with John Hart, Cody Smart. They could have closed in there near the end. But Ryan Gardillo also came in there as well. He could have gotten in the way of Luke Rainey. But fortunately for those guys, it did not happen. And Luke Rainey gets the win in the Indianapolis 250 for 2017. Congratulations, my friend. You got the win and the championship as well. Jonathan Rains, that's a tough one for him. He finished 7th here. Just not enough. 7th place gets 60 points. The winner gets 100 points. And Luke Rainey only needed 34 points, and he got it. And Luke Rainey is your champion for 2017 in the Haas IndyCar Series. Congratulations to the number 67, his 2nd win of the season, and definitely the biggest win of his career here on Napa Fan in the Indianapolis 250. And there's Ryan Gardillo. They were closing in on him right near the end. That could have been really big there. But Luke Rainey, he pulled out ahead, he stayed in the lead, and he did exactly what he needed to do. A clutch moment for the Pennsylvania native Luke Rainey in the number 67. Your Indianapolis 250 champion for 2017. And there are the official standings of the race. I tell you, this race is so fun to record every year. And I had a blast doing it again here for 2017. Luke Rainey, your winner and your Haas IndyCar Series champion. I mean, perfect day for the number 67 of Luke Rainey. I got to tell you that right now. John Hart finished 2nd. Cody Smart, Jordan Lopez, and Aaron Walpole, the top 5. Walpole, the defending winner of this race from last year, finished 5th. Noah Cars, Jonathan Rains, Zachary Fitzwater, Julius Anderson, and Eli Bright, the top 10. Here for the 2017 NRLOA Indianapolis 250. Take a look at the rest of the results right here. And you see those guys involved in the crashes earlier on in this race. And Matt Delio, it's a tough one for him especially. He came into this race the points leader, but crashed early on because of an aggressive move by Herja Larvin Alonso that took him out of the championship fight. But it gave us a good championship fight at the end between Luke Rainey, Zachary Fitzwater, and Jonathan Rains. But in the end, Luke Rainey bested them all, got the win in the Indianapolis 250, and he also has the championship in the Haas IndyCar Series for 2017. I don't know if he's in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series or not. I can't remember. I hope he is. I really hope he is because, I mean, you win the Indianapolis 250 and you go over to the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, you got all that momentum. I know they're 2 totally different types of cars, but still, I think Luke Rainey is in. I could be wrong. I might be wrong. I think, you know what? I think he's an owner. I think he's an owner in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. That's unfortunate, but still, he's going to be part of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series as an owner. And hopefully his team does something in the 2017 Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Season number 6 of the Cup Series we do here, which is going to start on Monday, by the way, with the Mellow Yellow Smooth Fest. That's going to be a fun race, and it's going to be fun just like this one, but still recovering from the Indianapolis 250, I should say. Luke Rainey gets it done in the biggest race on Napa Fan. And a huge congratulations to the number 67, pulling off the victory and pulling off the championship here in the Haas IndyCar Series. Thank you guys so much for all of the support you've given me. For this race especially, I appreciate if you guys like the video. I don't want to be too like, oh, I need likes and all that stuff. I don't want to be like that. But I definitely appreciate it. I mean, I spent a lot of time recording this, a lot of time editing it as well. And those likes, you get a good amount of likes. It's like, it makes me feel good. because I know you guys appreciate what I do, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you enjoyed the race, please leave a like. I appreciate it, but you don't have to if you don't want to. I don't want you to be forced to do so. I hate it if I do that, and you know, just like at your own will. That's what I say right there. But anyways, thank you guys so much for all the support. God bless you all, of course. You know, God loves you all, and believe in Jesus, going to heaven. That's a good thing to say at the end of this one, and I hope you guys all consider that, and just know that God loves you, and I hope He blesses you in your lives, and He's blessed me with you guys and all my family and friends, and I hope I've been able to bless you as well with these races as well. I mean, we have tough lives, and you know, these races to kind of just help us therapy, and you come home from a bad day, you see one of these races, I hope you just like, you know what, who cares about my bad day? Got this good race to watch. I hope you think that. It might not necessarily be a good race in my opinion, but you know what, I hope you guys feel that way. That's what I want to be. I want to be a blessing in your lives, and I hope these races and just me being here, me talking to you guys, you know, you got troubles and stuff like that, I hope that helps, and I just want to be a blessing to you guys, and that's all I really am here for. It's just to be a blessing, and I hope I've been able to do that over the past couple of years, and I hope to continue doing that here for many years to come. Congratulations to Luke Rainey in the number 67, the winner of the 2017 Indianapolis 250. A fantastic race yet again. This is always a fantastic race, and I hope you guys enjoyed just as much as I did. Next Saturday morning, we got the Daytona 500 in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. That one should not be as long as this one, but it's still going to be a fantastic one because that's a big race as well. Who's going to win the Daytona 500? They got the two biggest races that I do on this channel coming one weekend after another. And of course, got the big one then coming up a couple weekends from now, and that's going to be huge as well. Hope you guys get your submissions in for that thing, because I'm looking forward to what you're going to be getting your guys' stuff for that thing, you know, because you're going to say something. I don't know what it is yet, haven't determined it yet, but by the time you guys are seeing this, you guys will know what that is. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, that's about it for me. So here are the final point standings for the Haas IndyCar Series 2017. It was a fantastic season, and Luke Rainey is your champion in the number 67. He gets it done in the biggest race of the season, and congratulations to Luke Rainey once again on both the victory in the Indianapolis 250 and the championship as well. Thank you guys very much for watching. Congratulations to Luke Rainey once again, and I will see you guys later.